Hello and welcome to my channel. Here we learn the lore and stories of the world of Tyria. Today we journey to the southernmost part of Ascalon to find out the history of the stronghold city of Ebonhawke. We will also see a glimpse of the 6 heroes who had a peace mission to fulfill and their journey through the stronghold city. For the full lore and story on that, you will have to read the book titled Ghosts of Ascalon. Sit back, relax and listen to Ebonhawke, the Stone Fortress. You can find the full lore on the official Guild Wars 2 wiki. Let's begin. A fortress born in ash. Long ago, when the mighty kingdom of Ascalon fell to flame and ruin, only one great human fortress remained standing, Ebonhawke. It was carved into the cliffs of the Blaze Ridge Mountains, far to the southeast in Ascalon, where steep walls and stone passes could hold back even the strongest armies. While the rest of Ascalon crumbled, Ebonhawke stood like a mountain of iron will. It was built by the last Ascalonian soldiers, led by brave warriors and guided by Logan Thackeray's ancestors. For centuries, it became the last light of human resistance, the city that refused to fall. But it paid dearly. Every year, the Jarl legions attacked. Every wall was scarred by battle. Every street held memories of fallen soldiers. And yet, through it all, Ebonhawke never broke. The Ebon Vanguard. When the great armies scattered and hope grew thin, a special force rose within the city, the Ebon Vanguard. Led by Gwen Thackeray, a woman once enslaved by the Char and freed by fire and fury, the Vanguard became a beacon of resistance. Gwen had once fought alongside heroes like King Jally's Ironhammer and the legendary Char rebel Pyre Fearshot. She turned her pain into purpose, her sorrow into strength. The Vanguard protected the people, scouted the wilds, and fought back against Char attacks with unmatched courage. Gwen's leadership shaped generations, and her legacy still echoes through Ebonhawke's halls. Even after her passing, the Vanguard endured, and as time marched on, something strange began to grow in the city's heart. The dream of peace. A fragile hope. It was not easy. Humans still mourned the old kingdom. Char still burned with memories of war. But the Treaty of Ebonhawke, signed by Queen Jenna and the Char High Legions, began to form the first bridge. Not everyone supported it. Many humans hated the idea. So did many Char. But there were those who believed the future could be better. The Vigil believed. The Vanguard believed. And one day, 6 unlikely heroes passed through Ebonhawke's walls, carrying that belief with them. The journey of the 6. They came from different lands, different races, but they shared one mission: enter the ruined Ascalon city, survive its cursed ghosts, and retrieve the Claw of the Khan an ancient Char relic. If they succeeded, peace between the Char and humans could be possible. If they failed, the war might never end. They passed quietly through Ebonhawke, beneath the towers, through the shadows, and out into the ghostlands. This is who they were. Dougal Keen, the reluctant leader. Dougal was a human explorer and thief, a man who once ran from battle and who carried guilt like a weight strapped to his chest. He had been to Ascalon before. He had seen the ghost armies. He had left someone behind. But this time, he would not run. This time he had a team. And this time, he had a purpose. Riona Grady, the Vigil Crusader. Riona was no ordinary fighter. She was a crusader of the Vigil, a group that believed Tyria could only survive if its people stood together against the Elder Dragons. She was human and proud. But more than that, she was disciplined, fearless, and loyal to the mission. Her sword was sharp, her orders were clear, her heart was steady, even when her trust in Dougal wasn't. Ember Doomforge, Ash Legion, and Vigil Blade. A Char of the Ash Legion, Ember was born to move in the shadows, to spy, to sneak, and to strike when needed. But she had joined the Vigil, drawn by their vision of unity. She didn't speak much. She didn't need to. Her eyes did the watching, her claws did the talking, and her presence alone was a reminder that the mission and the world were bigger than old hatreds. Cranks, the brilliant complainer. An Asura with goggles too big and confidence even bigger, Cranks was the team's engineer, a member of the Vigil with a sharp mind and an even sharper tongue. He believed in logic, technology, and blowing up anything that got in the way. He didn't believe in ghosts, until he saw them. Gullick Oddsson, the Axe of the North. Gullick was a Norn, proud and powerful. He wielded his axe like it was an extension of his arm. A very recent addition to the team after some almost unfortunate events. He didn't know all the members of the team except one. He had met Killeen earlier, and they had built a quiet trust, the kind that grows strong, like roots under snow. He fought with laughter, loyalty, and the full weight of his strength. And lastly, Killeen, the Spirit Whisperer. A Sylvari, born by the Pale Tree, Killeen was curious and kind. She respected the cycle of life. To many, she seemed too delicate, but inside she was strong, quiet strong. And like Gullick, she believed that this strange group could do something no army had done: change the world. Beneath the fortress and beyond. The Six didn't travel through the wide gates of Ebonhawke. No banners waved for them, no horns blew. They moved quietly, through old service tunnels, winding sewers, and forgotten stone corridors beneath the fortress. They whispered where others shouted. They passed under the walls, still bearing the scars of battle. The soldiers above didn't know their names, but the city itself did. Ebonhawke, old and tired, listened to their steps like a heartbeat. And then they left the city. They stepped into the ghostlands, cursed Ascalon, where the dead still marched and the sky never smiled. They faced betrayal, sorrow, and anger, but they walked forward for the future, for peace, for the world. The city that watched them go. Ebonhawke never forgot them. The mission was secret, but over time the whispers grew louder. Stories were told in taverns, on patrol, by firelight, and told as campfire stories to children. Not just of war, but of change. The city itself was more than just walls and battlements. It had grown like a stone flower in the harsh mountains, layer upon layer of grit and memory. There was the high road, where banners flew and soldiers marched, offering views of the dry, blaze-ridged skies. From here, the great hall stood, where the ruling commanders and diplomats met to speak of peace and strategy. The market row bustled with traders and travelers, a rare place of life in a city built for survival. Here, humans and chars sometimes crossed paths without reaching for weapons. The lower quarters held the people, homes carved from stone and wood, tight and warm despite the cold. Walls there bore both scars and paint, murals of hope, flames of resistance, and old names never forgotten. There were training squares where young soldiers drilled beneath the banners of the Vanguard, and watchtowers that stared endlessly towards the hostile lands beyond. The city's sanctuary temples honored both the old Six gods and the new ideals of unity and endurance. And the archives beneath the walls kept stories, names, and orders, because Ebonhawke was a city that remembered. Beneath it all lay the old tunnels, winding under the fortress like veins. Once used for smuggling and escape, they now held secrets, stories, and sometimes a way forward for those bold enough to walk them. The stronghold city of Ebonhawke had held against 100 sieges. Now it stood as a gateway to something greater: hope. This has been the story and lore of the stronghold city of Ebonhawke. I hope you enjoyed this video. The lore and history of Ebonhawke is really nice and deep. You can find lore books in-game that tell the tale of how Ebonhawke came to be. They are titled The Founding. All of these volumes are scattered throughout the city. And the book Ghosts of Ascalon is a really good read and my favorite of the Guild Wars 2 books, and the part about Ebonhawke is detailed and immersive. Anyway, with that said, thank you for watching this video. Please like and comment something you learned or something that you would like to hear. Also subscribe to not miss future lore content in this format. Now, take care, and I will see you in the next story. Goodbye.